Here are the latest updates from the Pna Newsroom. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has secured $22.8 billion investment pledges from Chinese investors during his state visit to China. These investments include $1.72 billion for agribusiness, $13.76 billion for renewable energy, and 7.32 billion pesos for strategic monitoring. Malacanang's said investments were also sealed in coconut and food processing, development of durian production, as well as alternative green technology for animal feeds and other agriculture-related products. Two cooperative agreements were also sealed to ensure a sustainable supply of agriculture inputs, especially fertilizers. Marcos welcomed the deal, saying it could generate the much-needed employment and enrich the research and development activities in the agriculture sector. These investments would also enhance the domestic and international trade and ensure food security in the country. The Marcos administration's infrastructure program got a boost after the Philippines and China signed 6 bilateral agreements and 1 project implementation on Wednesday. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s Build Better More infrastructure program got strong support from the Chinese government. Signing on behalf of the Philippine government, Finance Secretary Benjamin Jokno said these agreements demonstrates the strong commitment of both countries to deepen bilateral cooperation through infrastructure development. The latest financing from China brought to $1.06 billion its total loan commitments for ongoing projects in the Philippines. 4 of the loan agreements are worth around $201.8 million and were co-signed by Export-Import Bank of China Chairman Wu Fulin. This will fund the priority bridges crossing Pasig to Marikina River and Mangahan Floodway. Meanwhile, an agreement on economic and technical cooperation worth 12.2 billion pesos to be allotted for projects to be determined by both countries was also signed. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. dismissed the charges filed against former government officials involved in the botched importation of 300,000 metric tons of sugar in July. In a 10-page resolution signed by Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin, charges of grave misconduct, gross dishonesty, and conduct prejudicial to the best interests of the service were dismissed against Agriculture Senior Undersecretary Leocadio Sebastian, former Sugar Regulatory Administrator Hermenegildo Serafica, and former SRA board members Roland Beltran and Aurelio Gargardo Valderrama Jr. It states that the issuance of the controversial Sugar Order No. 4 that would have allowed the importation of sugar was done in good faith and that the respondents were not aware of their lack of authority to sign on behalf of the President. It also shows there was a miscommunication at the time of the signing of the import order. In other news, 2 foreign fugitives were intercepted by immigration officers in Manila and Cebu, were barred from entering the country. German national Rainer Reinhold Heber was intercepted last January 3 at the Mactan Cebu International Airport. Heber was identified as an alleged recidivist and violent offender who was sentenced to 9 years imprisonment. Meanwhile, on January 2, Chinese national Chen Qiaolin was denied entry upon arriving at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport from Kuala Lumpur. Information from the Interpol revealed that Chen is wanted in China for human trafficking, telecommunications fraud, and illegal online gambling activities. She was also charged with forging the travel documents of trafficking victims who have entered Malaysia, Cambodia, and other countries. That's the latest and the biggest stories from the Pna Newsroom. For more news content, visit our webpage or head on to the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. We're also shown on the social media pages of the Office of the Press Secretary and Radyo Pilipinas RP1. Stay tuned for more news updates. I'm Stephanie Sevillano, who tells stories that inspire change.